Let's get into the intricacies of two-stroke tuning. I haven't completed my testing, but what I've done so far is pretty interesting. And I want to share what I've found so far and what I think it's leading to. We used to consider tuning mostly just jetting. Some people also include ignition timing, not assuming that the stock ignition is going to be the perfect setting all the time. I'm getting to the point where I'm considering the type engine oil used and the fuel oil ratio as part of tuning. Let me explain why. First, I went on a couple of bike forums and asked if they thought going from 50-to-1 fuel oil to 30-to-1 was going to increase power, and by how much. None of them said it will reduce power. Okay, we got various responses, but I find that very interesting that no one thought of the possibility, or not even me, because I didn't put it on there as an option. It's like, what? What? Yes, but on my bike, which was severely in the need of a faster combustion rate, the Caster 927 that I used, it didn't like that. I think the synthetic overpowered the Caster as far as its effects on the burn rate. So you can see on here that the best max RPM was had by using 50-to-1. And I know some people will say, "Oh, well, you're leaving out the effect that the percentage of the fuel." As I explained before, if we consider Caster as a fuel also, because it is extremely burnable, and half of the engine oil is Caster, then the difference between 50-to-1 and 30-to-1 is only 0.6%, which is not enough. So no, I'm not even going to consider that this is showing effects of the amount of fuel. Interesting also, trying different ignition timings. Each different ratio gave a different timing that it wanted. Okay? The difference between each one of these horizontal segments here is about 3 degrees. Okay? So from 30-to-1, I had to go 6 degrees more retarded to get the best power. You see, if the ignition timing was set here at 30-to-1 and I switched to 50-to-1, guess what? I'd only see this little improvement right here. This little improvement right here. So I am thoroughly convinced that everybody needs to be including ignition timing in their tuning. Don't assume that what you've got is okay no matter what you do to the engine. The opposite is true. So this was a test of top RPM, and this was a test of acceleration. And for some reason I couldn't include the 50-to-1. I made some mistake or something and I didn't have time to go back and redo it, so that's not included here. But you can see the 41 gave me a better acceleration time than 30 or 35-to-1. A difference of 2.3%. Okay? Now, I know how racers are. The karting people, the motocross people. If you said this little gizmo on your bike is going to give you 2% better power, they would say, I want it. I don't care how much it costs. I want it. Bolt-on power. So what I'm talking about here is just, it's not a lot, but for a serious racer, 2% is enough to want to have. So right here, I put the contributing factors to burn rate, okay? Low compression will give you a slower burn rate than a high compression. Low squish velocity will give you a slower burn rate than a high squish velocity. Jetting being off, whether too lean or too rich, will give a slower burn than the correct jetting. And to me, right now, I'm thinking that the correct jetting is that which allows you to have the most retarded ignition timing, which I probably should go into more in-depth explanation, but I'm not going to right now. And then these groups of engine oil, which you can find on my webpage for engine oils. Group 2 mineral oil and synthetic are slow burn, and Group 1 mineral oil and castor are fast burn. And of course, a lot of oils are combinations. And I'm making a webpage telling you exactly how I did my testing. If anyone wants to repeat the same type of testing I did, then they can do that. So I wanted to summarize in these two graphs. This is a situation where the engine oil is not what the engine wants, and this is where the engine oil is what the engine wants. When it's not what the engine wants, it will do better with less oil. This is the percentage of engine oil. This curve right here, topping out around here, is less oil than in this situation where it tops out over here. That's because it likes that oil. It's contributing to what it needs for a faster burn rate or a slower burn rate. And so it's going to want more of the oil. And of course, you know, as you go up in engine oil, you're increasing the lubrication, which is part of the whole picture. And I know ignition timing changes is not fun if you do not have an adjustable CDI, you know, a programmable one. In my case, I've got one that I made that it changes 3 degrees for every different switch setting on the CDI. I know you got to take the magneto off. You've got to access the stator plate underneath, loosen the screws, you know, make your marks showing where it was, where you want it to be. You got to have some idea of how many degrees that's going to be, and then put it all back together. I know it's a pain in the ass, but some of you want the best. Okay, some of you are just happy with how your ride is. You just like to ride and, you know, learn just the bare minimum to keep it going. That's fine. So I guess this video is for those who want the best. So I'm waiting on some parts to come in to do some repairs on my bike, and when I get it up and running again, I'm going to finish those tests. I did testing with Castor 927, and I'm going to also do it with Group 2 mineral oil, and I'm going to do it with Klotz Binol, which is all Castor. So I'll have a lot more information concerning the different oils and the effects they will have on tuning, power output, top speed, etc. Okay, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.